Hey everyone, this is Michel Bron with the Bron Realty Group, and this is our video for the month of October 2023. So the big question we get asked lately, not just me, just about every real estate agent out there, is it still a good time to sell, or did I miss the boat? Well, I'm going to try to answer that in this video. So with mortgage rates now above 6% and having basically doubled in the past 3 to 4 months, you might be wondering if it still makes sense to sell now. Your Santa Monica home, or maybe your West Hollywood condo, or even your Culver City duplex or your Sherman Oaks house. This is my opinion based on almost 22 years worth of experience, including going through the 2007-2008 major real estate downturn. So just yesterday, actually, I got a call from one of my best friends, Danny, who is a real estate investor, a great investor, and he said to me, "Hey Michel, do you think this is the time to sell now, or should I wait?" And I replied, "Well, Danny, are you asking me for you specifically or just in general?" And then he said, "Well, does it make any difference? I mean, after all, does it make a difference whether it's for me specifically, or whether it's a good time to sell or not? Doesn't the logic apply to everyone the same way?" And I said, "Well, actually, no, it actually doesn't." And let me explain that. So if you are a real estate investor, your business is all about buying low and selling high. If you're buying as a homeowner, you're actually not in this transaction to make money. You're primarily in the transaction to live in the home. Eventually, if you make money when you sell a property, that's great, but that's originally not the main purpose. I know people tend to forget that, but for an investor, that's their business. That's how they make a living: buy low, sell high. And we are in a market where interest rates may actually reach to 7 to 7.5% by the end of the year. This is going to definitely affect our prices in Los Angeles, even though we still have a very high demand and very little inventory, and prices are still very high. But eventually, LA is going to start feeling the burn as well, and prices will start going down. Even in your Beverly Hills condo or for your Brentwood house, prices will start going down. When that happens, as an investor, you will need to be cash rich in order to buy low. So depending on your cash situation, because investors sometimes are property rich but cash poor, and they sometimes need to sell a property in order to get into the market. If that's your case, I really advise you to sell 1 or maybe 2 properties right now, so that you can still take advantage of the high prices, and then a few months from now, when prices are down, you are cash rich and you can take advantage of buying these properties for cash. Now, and I would say you need to do this as soon as possible. Don't wait around. Now, if you are a regular homeowner and you're thinking of selling, you're probably in one of these 2 categories. Category number 1, you've been living in your home for many years. You may be an empty nester, children are out of the house, or you're considering downsizing, maybe that big Bel Air house and buying a 2-bedroom condo, or maybe you've been thinking about moving to senior housing, or maybe you're thinking of moving out of state and rejoin with your children or your adult children or grandchildren. In any case, your situation is not urgent, and if you're willing to wait it out, maybe 2 or 3 years or more, I'm not sure, then you don't necessarily have to rush and sell now. You can ride the downturn wave and wait for prices to come back up. Now, the Federal Reserve has indicated that the current inflation, which they are trying to bring down by rising rates, will be sticky. That means that they were originally, hoping that this inflation will be controlled quite quickly, but they think it's going to actually take longer than that, and they will hold these high interest rates for as long as it takes. How long? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. But it could take 2, 3, maybe even 4 years before prices start coming back to the levels that we had during the past 2 years. Now, will they come back? In my opinion, absolutely yes. Prices will come back because real estate always goes up. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, but eventually it always goes up. And actually, I think that they will even go higher than the price we just had a couple of years ago. It's hard to believe, but yes, I believe prices will go up higher, whether it's going to be for your Culver City house or your Brentwood home or your Silver Lake condo. Prices will be higher. So if you're not in a rush, then I would say wait it out, ride the wave, just sit back and relax. Now, you may belong to the second category where you are affected by what we call life events. Maybe you are in the middle of a divorce, and the judge requires you to sell your Tarzana home, or maybe your West LA condo. For example, you may have what's called a stipulation in order to sell, and you may not have a choice. Or maybe you just had like a second or maybe even a third child, and you decided to sell your one-bedroom Century City condo, and you want to buy a 2 or 3 bedroom condo nearby, maybe in Westwood. Or maybe you've inherited a house in Hancock Park, and it's just too much for you to take care of. You might even be out of state and you just want to sell it. Or maybe you just got a job in the Silicon Valley, and you want to sell your big Brentwood house so that you can take that job up in the Silicon Valley. In any other situation, and I'm sure I'm leaving some out, you probably need to sell in the next few months. You don't have as much flexibility as the other category I just mentioned. My recommendation in that case is, even if you have a few months ahead of you, do not wait and sell now. I'm writing this in big caps down below, and I'm sorry for the big caps, but I truly believe that the market is going to change rather quickly. It seems like the only tool that the Fed has in their tool belt to control that recession is to continue raising these interest rates. And after raising the rates for a 3/4 of a point just a couple of days ago, they actually told us, well, they didn't tell us, the word on the street is that they might actually raise the rates another 2 times before the end of the year. Now, we could be at 7% or even more by January or February 2023. This will undoubtedly affect our prices in LA, and it's going to affect them sooner than later. Now, Los Angeles, just like any other city, is high demand. It's more resilient than smaller suburban areas around the country. So I think it's going to take a little bit longer, and that's why our prices are still holding up in most of the Los Angeles area, or at least on the west side of LA. But it's not going to hold off forever. So if you're seriously considering selling your LA house or condo, I would highly recommend that you call your realtor as soon as possible to discuss the best strategy to sell for the highest price possible and for the best terms that work for you. Meaning that, even if you sell right now and close escrow, maybe you negotiate a longer escrow into maybe at the end of the year, or maybe you negotiate a lease back. You can still do that these days, meaning that you can sell the house, cash out, get the money, and then lease the property back from the new owners. So there are different strategies to work around that. But if you are in that situation, I would say don't wait around too much. Prices are going to get affected pretty soon. I hope this was helpful. If you are a buyer, there's plenty of other strategies I can talk about. You can reach me directly on my cell or by text. Otherwise, please stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for checking in. See you next time. Bye-bye.